President Obama is the first U.S. president to visit India twice while in office. It's also the first time an American president has attended India's Republic Day parade. The parade celebrates the day in 1950 when India's constitution came into force and the country gained its full independence from Britain. The national holiday is an annual celebration of India's military and cultural richness. Obama and Modi spoke about their mutually beneficial relationship at a business summit.
This is a win-win. It's a win for America and our workers because U.S. exports to India are up nearly 35%, and those exports support about 170,000 well-paying American jobs. At the same time, Indian investment in our country is growing as well.
Quite simply, the joint hands of India and the United States will make this world a better place for all.
Well, to get the latest on the meetings between the two leaders, I'm joined now by our correspondent in New Delhi, Shweta Bajaj. Shweta, thanks a lot. So what were the main announcements, the main takeaways from this summit?
Well, like you mentioned, the topmost, of course, that civil nuclear agreement that actually took place in 2008, but it was never made operational. The framework agreement in defense has been extended for the next 10 years, which basically means that there would be joint ventures happening between Indian and US companies, and there is a possibility of co-developing and manufacturing here in India defense equipment. Thirdly, of course, US has said that it would be investing $4 billion in the Indian market. Now, this investment would come into small-scale industry and also medium-scale industry in rural India. A number of that would also be for exports that would come from US to India, so made in America exports coming into India, so the rest of the amount will go into that. And other than that, you also had the climate change talks. Till now, India has been very aggressive on the climate change front. This time round, we saw the language changing a little bit from becoming really combat. This time, India was more cooperative. So we'll see some sort of a statement coming from India in the next few months because it's been clear from the talks that Narendra Modi has said that a deal needs to be formed on climate change. But, well, those were the concrete and substantive things that really happened. But this was, like you mentioned, it was more about symbolism. There was a great camaraderie that we saw between both the heads of state that happened over the last 3 days. Much has been said and written about their relationship and the fact they both call each other friends, and the fact that for the first time ever, India has actually agreed to US's proposal to partner with it in Asia Pacific. So those really big ticket items coming through during this visit.
India, as we know, has a very big, diverse and very vibrant media. How has it been responding to this visit?
Well, to be honest, if you look at the media, it's pretty much positive. But then you have the critics. The press conference that happened on the first day of the visit didn't allow any questions except one from the Indian media side and one from the US media side. There's always been a complaint here in the Indian media that our Prime Minister hasn't taken a single question since he actually took office, which happened in May this year. So that's one of the really grouses that the Indian media has. Second of all, what is there in the nuclear deal? All we know is that they both are looking at a suitable framework. What does that mean for Indian companies? What does it mean for US companies? How much has India given in? How much has US given in? That's really not clear. On the trade and investment front, there has been critics talking about the fact that no concrete deal has been done, except one on smart cities, where there's a joint study which has been established, where companies from US and companies from India would be conducting joint study to look at 3 different cities here in India to convert them into smart cities. Other than that, there hasn't been really anything concrete on the trade and investment front, except the fact that the Indian government will now be a little more easy, a little less bureaucratic when it comes to companies entering into the Indian market, and will not try to stop them or create bureaucratic hurdles. So that's what we are hearing, what has really happened on the business and trade front. But many were actually expecting something more concrete, especially on the investment front, because, as you know, the new Prime Minister Narendra Modi actually came on the backing of that, and everybody was expecting big ticket deals, which really hasn't happened. The only silver lining, though, that defense framework agreement, we are looking at investment coming from America to India in that sector.